Okay, so picture this. You've got customers. They've found exactly what they want on your store, clicked add to cart. They're, heading towards the finish line. And then they just vanish. Poof, gone. That moment, right before they hit buy. That's where so much potential revenue just disappears.
It's incredibly common, unfortunately.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Deep Dive, brought to you on the Shop Strategy feed. And just a heads up, this deep dive is powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite is designed to help you run really smart discount campaigns right on your Shopify store. Specifically, it helps turn those almost sales into completed orders right at that critical moment. You can actually test Growth Suite out for free on your Shopify store.
Which is very relevant to what we're talking about today.
Exactly. Today, we are plunging headfirst into Shopify checkout optimization. We've been digging into this fantastic article by Mohammed Tufik over on the shopstrategy.com. And we're pulling out, the most important actionable insights to help you understand and really master this crucial part of your online business.
Yeah, it's a great piece, really practical.
So our mission today is to figure out why. Why do customers walk away at that final step? And more importantly, arm you with strategies, real things you can do to make that checkout flow super smooth, trustworthy. Basically, turn those potential sales into actual completed orders. It's all about transforming the very, very end of the customer journey.
And the financial stakes here, they're just enormous. This final step is truly the critical moment. The source we looked at highlights that e-commerce retailers lose, get this, $18 billion every single year just from cart abandonment.
$18 billion. Wow, that's staggering.
It really is, and it's reflected in the average cart abandonment rate, which hovers around 70%.
So 7 out of every 10 people who put something in their cart.
Yep, 7 out of 10 who intend to buy just walk away before they finish. That's not just, bad luck. It's a massive opportunity waiting for you to reclaim.
Okay, so when we talk about checkout optimization in this context, what does that actually mean? It sounds a bit technical.
Well, the article frames it nicely. It's sort of the art and the science of refining that whole purchase process.
Art and science, I like that.
Exactly. It means strategically looking at the entire path, from clicking checkout all the way to seeing that order confirmed message, the main goal. Remove every single obstacle, every little doubt that could make someone hesitate or just leave.
And the potential upside is huge if you get it right.
Oh, definitely. The source points out that effective optimization, done well, can boost your conversion rates by up to 35.62%.
35%. That's not small change. We're talking a serious increase in actual sales just by fixing this last step.
And the good news for Shopify store owners is you're starting from a really strong position. Shopify's own native checkout is built to convert. It actually outperforms many competitors by up to 36% in conversion rates, according to the research. They've been refining this for years, across millions of transactions.
Right. They have those built-in advantages like the clean, often one-page design.
Keeps it simple.
The integration with Shop Pay and their identity network, so returning folks fly through.
Super fast, yeah.
Enterprise-grade security, which is obviously crucial.
Non-negotiable.
And those flexible customization options so you can keep everything looking like your brand.
Exactly. So optimizing your Shopify checkout isn't about building from scratch. You're tweaking and enhancing a system that's already pretty darn good. But as the article really stresses, you first have to understand why customers are leaving to know what you actually need to fix.
Right. There's definitely a psychology involved. Something specific happens right at that last hurdle that makes people bail.
And the article breaks down the common reasons into 3 main buckets, which is a really helpful way to think about it.
Okay, lay them on me. Category 1.
Process-related barriers. This is all about the checkout flow itself, the actual steps they take.
Like asking for too much info.
Precisely. The source warns that every extra field you add, every bit of information you ask for, it actively hurts your conversion rate. Other killers in this category. Confusing navigation where people aren't sure how to get back or forward. And the big one, forcing people to create an account. The data cited is compelling. 34% of abandoned carts happen simply because people don't want to be forced to sign up.
34% just from that. That's huge. The article had a great story too, right, about cutting fields.
Yeah, a store that cut their abandonment rate by 28% just by simplifying their form from 12 fields down to 6.
Oh.
It perfectly shows that less is more isn't just some abstract idea. It directly leads to more completed sales, less friction, more orders.
Makes total sense.
Okay.
Category 2.
Cost-related barriers.
Yeah.
And this one probably hits home for all of us as shoppers.
Oh, yeah. Surprise costs. The article had a crazy stat for this, didn't it?
It did. An alarming 55% of shoppers abandon carts specifically because of unexpected shipping costs that suddenly appear right at the end.
55. Over half. That last-minute reveal,
Yeah.
it's just brutal.
It's statistically the single biggest reason for many people. It really shows you can't hide costs until the last second.
What else falls under cost barriers?
Missing discount options is another one. Seeing a discount code box but not having a code sends people off hunting for one, and they often don't come back.
Guilty as charged. I've done that.
We all have. And also just a general lack of price transparency where the final total isn't really clear until the very end. People hate surprises, especially financial ones.
Totally. We've all been there, got to the end, saw a huge shipping fee and just thought, nope, and closed the tab. It's such a common friction point.
It really is. And the third category, also critical, is trust and security concerns. Remember, you're asking for sensitive payment information here.
Right. If someone feels even slightly unsure about whether their card details are safe,
They're gone. Any doubt about payment security is a major reason to abandon. Or if they don't see those familiar trust signals, the logos for Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, security badges, clear guarantees.
like SSL certs or PCI compliance.
Exactly. Those visual cues matter.
Oh.
Also, not having enough information easily available, like clear return policies or estimated delivery times, can create uncertainty and erode trust.
There was another good example in the article about this, right? With security badges.
Yes. A merchant added prominent security badges to their checkout, and bam, conversions jumped 15% almost overnight.
15% just from adding some icons.
It just shows how powerful that visual reassurance is. It directly addresses subconscious fears.
Okay, so now we have a clearer idea of why people bail. But, like they say, you can't improve what you don't measure. You need a baseline.
Absolutely. Job one is understanding your current situation. The article lists the key metrics you need to track.
Like the overall checkout abandonment rate, obviously.
Yep. But also, crucially, the conversion rate at each specific step of your checkout process. Seeing where the drop-off happens is gold.
So not just the overall rate, but step by step.
Exactly. Also, how long customers are spending on the checkout page is too long might indicate confusion. And your cart-to-complete ratio.
And thankfully, Shopify Analytics gives you tools for this, that funnel visualization. Right?
Your best friend. It shows you visually exactly where people are dropping off in the sequence. Is it after they enter their address? Or when they see shipping options? Or at the payment step?
And you can segment that too, right? Like by device or traffic source.
Yes, which helps pinpoint if the problem is, say, worse on mobile or for customers coming from a specific ad campaign. That checkout funnel analysis report is vital for diagnosing the leaks.
Okay, so measure first, find the leaks, then you start plugging them. The article dives into essential Shopify customizations next.
Right, and it really pushes the idea that your checkout page isn't just some back-end form, it's a vital part of your brand experience.
Starting with the look and feel, visual, and branding.
Yeah, if your checkout page suddenly looks generic or completely different from the rest of your store, it breaks that trust and consistency you've worked hard to build. Creates a moment of doubt.
And accessing this in Shopify is pretty straightforward, right? Under themes, customize.
Correct. Online store themes customize, then find the checkout section. All plans let you tweak visuals like logos, colors, fonts. Shopify Plus users get code access for even deeper customization, but everyone can make impactful changes.
Key things to dial in. Your logo banner, keep it clear, but not overwhelmingly huge. Your color scheme match your brand, and make sure buttons really stand out and look clickable. Typography needs to be readable and fit your brand's personality. Maybe subtle background elements.
And don't underestimate the impact. The source highlights that just getting these visuals aligned with your main store branding can lift conversions by 5–8%.
5 to 8% just for consistent looks. That's significant for a relatively simple fix.
It really is. It's about reinforcing professionalism and trustworthiness right when it matters most.
Okay, beyond visuals, what about the layout and structure? How the page is actually arranged?
This directly impacts how easily people can get through it. Form simplification is huge here.
Fewer fields, clear labels.
Exactly. Only ask for what you absolutely need. Arrange things in a logical sequence, usually contact shipping details first, then payment.
And mobile responsiveness.
Non-negotiable. The article cites over 60% of shopping happening on mobile now. Your checkout must work perfectly on a phone screen, be easy to tap, thumb-friendly.
Let's hammer that point again.
Yeah.
Every single field is a potential reason to leave. You have to be ruthless. Ask yourself, is this piece of info absolutely necessary to complete this order right now?
Great point. If the answer is no, seriously consider cutting it.
Okay, so visuals, layout. What about functional customizations, things that change how it works?
Field optimization within the form is key. Clear labels are essential. Pre-filling fields where possible, like country based on IP. Removing fields like company name if you mostly sell B2C. Making sure a browser autofill works smoothly.
The stores had that neat little anecdote, right? About combining first and last name.
Yeah. Just changing first name and last name fields into a single full name field boosted completion rates for one store. It shows that even tiny conveniences add up and reduce friction.
It's the little things.
Definitely. And using progress indicators or clear navigation show people where they are in the process.
Like those bars that say, step 1 of 3, shipping, step 2, payment.
Exactly. Or simple labeled steps. Customer info, shipping, payment. It gives people a sense of control and progress.
There's a psychological thing there, right? Seeing you're almost done makes you want to finish.
Absolutely. Seeing 2 out of 3 steps complete creates commitment. It reduces the feeling of being stuck in an endless form.
Okay, so those are the foundational tweaks. But the article pushes further into advanced optimization strategies, taking it to the next level.
Right, moving beyond the basics. A big theme here is streamlining the process even more aggressively. Shorter path, less chance to abandon.
Like aiming for a one-page checkout.
That's a big one. The source suggests it can increase conversions by up to 20% in some cases. Grouping related info logically, maybe using accordions. And again, that ruthless field elimination, critically evaluate every single field and step.
It reminds me of the thinking behind Amazon's old one-click patent. Fewer steps almost always means higher conversion.
It's a proven principle. Another advanced tactic is simplifying the entry of information, making the typing part effortless.
Address autocomplete comes to mind immediately. That's huge.
Fantastic example. The article mentions a store adding this and seeing checkout time drop by 25%, which led to a 12% conversion lift.
Wow, 12% lift just from easier address entry.
It tackles a major annoyance. Also, smart defaults like pre-selecting the country. And real-time validation, so if you mistype your email, it tells you immediately, not after you hit submit.
Reduces frustration significantly.
And rigorous mobile optimization. While it sounds basic, getting it perfect on mobile is an advanced play because, as mentioned, abandonment is so much higher there, 10–15% higher than desktop, the article notes.
So closing that mobile gap is a massive opportunity.
Huge. It means thumb-friendly design, using the right keyboard types on mobile, like tel for phone numbers, email for emails, and constant testing on actual devices.
The source also really emphasizes express checkout options, getting that friction down near zero.
Shop Pay is the star here for Shopify stores. It's Shopify's own accelerated checkout.
One click for returning customers, right?
Exactly. Stored info, super fast. The performance stats are incredible. The article reports Shop Pay can boost conversions by up to 50% compared to guest checkout. 50%.
That's massive. And it outperforms other accelerated options too.
By at least 10%, according to the source. Plus, it integrates installment options like Shop Pay installments, which can help with larger purchases.
But it's not just Shop Pay, right? Offering variety helps.
Definitely. Don't stop there. Add other relevant express options. Apple Pay is crucial for your iOS users. It can potentially double conversion rates for them. Google Pay for Android users. PayPal Express is another popular one many customers trust and prefer.
And the article said each additional relevant option can add, what was it?
3 to 5% to your overall conversion rate. The takeaway is clear. Offer the payment methods your specific customers actually use and trust. Give them choices.
And circling back to the account creation thing, optimizing the guest checkout experience.
Crucial. Don't force accounts. Make guest checkout the easy, obvious, maybe even default path.
Only ask for the bare minimum info needed to ship the order.
Right. You can always gently encourage account creation after the purchase is complete, maybe offer a small incentive for next time.
The Bain-Mard Institute study number again, 37% abandonment, just because account creation was mandatory.
It's stark. Get the sale first, build the relationship second. That should be the mantra.
Okay, so process streamlined, options added. The next critical layer is trust, making people feel safe.
Absolutely fundamental. You're asking for money and personal data. You have to actively, visibly demonstrate safety and security.
This means those visual trust signals we touched on earlier.
Yes. Visible security badges, SSL, PCI compliance, maybe generic secure checkout icons, reassuring little bits of text like, your information is secure. Highlighting the padlock icon and HTTPS in the browser.
That stat about 61% canceling because trust logos were missing is pretty powerful.
It really shows people actively look for these cues. It's not just decoration.
And payment method trust signals, too, like showing the card logos.
Definitely. Display the logos of the payment methods you accept: Visa, MasterCard, Amex, PayPal, etc. Familiarity builds confidence. Maybe even a short sentence about how payment info is encrypted and protected.
The article found pages with a clear, secure payment section performed 18% better. Simple, but effective.
And another aspect of trust: offering customer support during the checkout itself.
Like live chat.
Exactly. Integrating live chat, maybe via Shopify inbox, allows customers to get quick answers if they hit a snag or have a last-minute question. It prevents abandonment due to uncertainty.
You can use automated responses for common stuff, but have a human available too.
Right. And the data shows stores with live chat available during checkout see 10–15% higher conversion rates.
Even just knowing help is there probably builds confidence.
It does. Even if they don't use it, the presence is reassuring.
And placing helpful info strategically.
Yes, like little contextual FAQs near relevant fields, or brief summaries of your shipping and return policies directly in the checkout flow so they don't have to leave to find them. Estimated delivery dates are also great for managing expectations and building trust.
Those little expandable "what's this?" links could be good too, right? For explaining something potentially confusing.
Perfect example. Provide help exactly where it's needed without cluttering the main flow.
Okay, let's tackle the final big barrier. Cost-related abandonment. We know it's the #1 killer.
Managing shipping costs effectively is priority #1 here. Strategic free shipping is incredibly powerful.
Threshold-based seems popular. Free shipping over $50.
Very effective. It encourages customers to add a little more to their cart to qualify. The source mentioned using progress displays like "you're $15 away from free shipping" can boost average cart value by 30% or even more.
Clever. It plays on that psychology of wanting to get the deal.
Totally. Customers often prefer spending a bit more on products than on a shipping fee they see as wasted. Limited time free shipping offers can also create urgency.
But the absolute key is transparency, right? No surprises.
No surprises. Show shipping costs early. Consider offering flat rates or even building shipping into your product prices if feasible for your margins. Pre-checkout calculators on the product or cart page are also great.
That anecdote about the skincare brand adding a calculator and dropping abandonment by 23%.
Really drives home how much people hate that last-minute cost shock. Transparency wins.
And then there are direct incentives and promotions, using discounts strategically.
Yes. Things like offering a discount for first-time buyers, sending targeted discount codes in cart abandonment recovery emails. The source says this can recover up to 15% of lost sales.
15% back just from an email with a code.
It works. And using urgency like limited time checkout offers or countdown timers can nudge people to complete the purchase now.
And this ties directly into Growth Suite, doesn't it?
Perfectly. This is exactly what Growth Suite is designed for. It helps you run these kinds of smart, targeted discount campaigns. It can use AI to figure out the right offer for the right customer at the right time. It can automatically apply the discount code so there's zero friction for the shopper.
No searching or typing codes.
Right. And it can add those urgency timers right in the checkout flow. It's all about using incentives strategically to boost conversions right when the decision is being made.
Makes sense. What about other ways to ease cost concerns? Flexible payments.
Yes. Buy now, pay later options, BNPL, services like Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, these are becoming really important, especially for younger demographics or higher priced items.
Good idea to mention those early, not just hide them until the payment step.
Definitely. Highlight BNPL as a payment option on product pages or in the cart. Offer multiple providers if it makes sense for your audience.
The source noted BNPL can lift conversions by 20–30% for bigger ticket items.
Yeah, it makes larger purchases feel more manageable by splitting the cost, removing that immediate financial barrier.
Okay, so we've covered a ton. Understanding why people leave, measuring it, fixing the basics, advanced streamlining, building trust, tackling costs. But the article stresses this isn't a one-time project.
Absolutely not. Checkout optimization is an ongoing process. Continuous improvement is key.
And the main tool for that is A/B testing.
It's your most reliable method for knowing if a change actually works. But you need to be systematic about it.
Meaning?
Test only one thing at a time. Change the button color or the button text, not both, so you know what caused the result. Prioritize tests based on potential impact. Start with buttons, forms, trust signals. And define clearly what metric you're trying to improve: conversion rate, abandonment rate, maybe AOV before you start.
The article suggested simple A/B tests are usually best for most stores.
Yeah, focus on clear single variable tests. Is button A better than button B? Does removing this field help or hurt? Complex multivariate testing can get muddy quickly unless you have massive traffic.
What are some key things to test?
Button design is a classic color, size, the call of action text, form configuration, the order of fields, which ones are required, placement of express checkout buttons, where do they get noticed most, and testing different trust signals or their placement.
That anecdote about changing button text to complete order versus place order now, giving an 8% lift.
Perfectly illustrates it. You just never know for sure until you test. Don't rely on assumptions, rely on data from your customers.
And beyond specific A/B tests, having a continuous improvement strategy.
Right. Regularly look at your Shopify Analytics checkout funnel report, monitor your abandonment trends, maybe use tools like Hotjar for session recordings to actually watch where people struggle. Sometimes you see friction points analytics miss.
Keep an eye on the competition too, I imagine.
Definitely. And stay current with Shopify updates. They often release new checkout features or improvements you should be aware of and potentially implement.
The source recommended doing a checkout review. How often? Quarterly.
At least quarterly seems like a good cadence. Just a dedicated time to review the data, check for new Shopify features, and maybe plan your next A/B test. Things change fast online.
Okay, so wrapping this deep dive up, the core message from the article seems to be that optimizing your checkout is way more than just tweaking a form.
It's about transforming that final critical step from a high-risk point of abandonment into a smooth, confidence-building experience that actually encourages completion.
It's both art and science, like you said earlier.
Exactly. The science is the technical stuff: speed, fewer fields, mobile optimization, payment options. The art is the psychology, building trust through visuals and messaging, ensuring clarity, making people feel secure.
The best stores really treat their checkout as a vital extension of their brand, just as important as their homepage, not just a boring necessity.
Absolutely. When you apply these principles, consistently simplify, build trust, be transparent, offer convenience, and keep testing, your checkout stops being a liability and starts becoming a powerful competitive advantage. It turns more browsers into buyers and often into repeat customers.
Okay, final thought then, building on all this.
Yeah.
Given how powerful even tiny changes can be, like button text or removing one field, and the huge impact of trust and transparency, what's one small, potentially high-impact element on your current checkout page that you, listening right now, could test first? Something to chew on.
Good question to leave people with. Start small, test, and iterate.
That brings us to the end of this deep dive into Shopify checkout optimization here on the Shop Strategy feed. As you can tell, this is an area that directly, significantly impacts your bottom line and your customer loyalty. And remember, this deep dive was powered by Growth Suite. As we discussed, Growth Suite is tailor-made for tackling some of these checkout challenges, especially around incentives. It helps you create and run those effective, AI-driven discount campaigns, delivers personalized offers when they matter most, can auto-apply codes to remove friction, and builds urgency with countdown timers. All designed to help you boost conversions right at that crucial decision point.
Definitely worth checking out if you're serious about optimizing revenue.
You can test Growth Suite for free on your Shopify store. Give it a try. Thanks for tuning in.